Alright, it is currently time trial Tuesday, so we're getting real ready. We're going to put the disc wheel on. Bike is still on the Zwift setup from last night. I've also lent out like all of my wheels, so Caleb's going to be using the other disc and the Campagnolo 80. Dom's using my 75s, so I'm left with, I've got the Phil Guyman disc, and I'm going to run the 60 on the front, the 60 Loon today, and give that a little bit of test and see if I feel that that's any quicker than running the 75 on the front. Right, TT bike is all ready to go on the car. It's actually a real dodgy driving it with the disc on because you can't actually like screw up the disc on the back, but the front's all done up, but like we're only going pretty much a 50k zone the whole way there, so TT bike should be fine, fingers crossed. Alright, so as of today we are currently 4 weeks out from Age Group Nationals in Hokitika. They finally just announced it's actually going to be on, which is really helpful, you know, being a month out, being able to book accommodation and flights and actually get everything down there. So the time trial is on April 22nd, which is a Friday, and then you got a rest day on Saturday, and then the road race is on Sunday. I'm probably going to try and head down with Glenn on the Wednesday, so we've got a wee bit of time to kind of like get our legs ready and not have like travel legs on the way down. Pretty much that was one of the last time trials I'm going to have before I end up going down to Hokitika. I have one more, which is the Wellington Centre Champs, which is on the 10th of April, which is actually in the Wairarapa, which is handy. There's a 25 kilometre, pretty flat, I think it's got like 100 metres of climbing in the time trial in the morning. And then 3 hours later there's a 116 kilometre road race. So if anyone watching this video is in the Wellington Centre, definitely come and do Centre Champs. I'll be there. It'll be good to get some numbers up for these races. It just seemed to be really small numbers this year with the road cycling. So yeah, Tuesday night I went for a completely different approach to the last time trial that we did on this, last time trial simulation. Completely different. Last time I had the zip disc on, this time I had the head disc on. Last time I had the 75 on the front, this time I had the Loon on the front. Different saddle, ISM saddle, and the other different thing I used was the POC TT helmet rather than the S-Works one, because I've had a few like put side by side comparisons of me riding the other day with the S-Works helmet versus the POC one. I think the nose of the S-Works TT helmet just kept slightly like creeping up a little bit because I tend to look down and then look up way more than I probably should. Like when I'm riding, I don't think that I'm doing it, but like obviously it's really helpful having this footage of all this racing to be able to look back and be like, yeah, no, that position's not quite right, or your head movement's way too much, which it is currently at the moment. I do think for the moment this head disc is probably quicker than the Zip one, but it's got a super slow tyre on it, so I'm going to have to change that tyre before Nationals. It's got some old Forteza Pro tub on there, which is just really slow, so I'm going to put Conti speed on there. I'm not entirely convinced that the Loon was any quicker than the 75. I almost feel like the 75 was quicker than that Loon, but yeah, it's hard to know. The ISM saddle is good, but in the last quarter I still feeling quite uncomfortable. You can kind of see it in the footage that I'm still not perfectly comfortable while I'm on the saddle, just kind of like rocking a little bit. So yeah, I think because the saddle's so fat, I might still need to drop my saddle down maybe like another 5 mil just to kind of counter that, because if you look, my leg do seem to be like fully extending, so maybe that's part of the problem. So I'm going to have a play around with that this week. I'm also going to have a play around with the nose angle and just see if we can get any further forward within the UCI rules. But yeah, Tuesday night wasn't the best race for me. I didn't stick to the game plan very well. Like I did 3:30, I think I averaged almost 3:35 for the first 10 minutes, and I was meant to actually try and do a negative split on that course because it kind of goes slightly uphill on the way out and then slightly downhill on the way back. I think there's like 70 odd meters of climbing. But yeah, I really struggled to kind of like hold the power on the way out. I was like kind of in between like 310 and 360, and then 310 and 360, where I would have liked to just be sitting kind of like bang smack in the middle of that. And then on the way back, I think I kind of cooked myself, and then I was fine for the first quarter on the way back, and we were, you know, super fast, you know, sitting on almost, I think we were sitting on almost 50 kilometers an hour, which was pretty cool. And then the last quarter I just really started creeping. So not the best time trial, but it's all things to learn from, and using different gear and stuff. Every one of these TT simulations is only going to help for when I get to Hokitika, so I can get this absolutely dialed in. So I'm hoping in 2 weeks time at the Centre Champs I'm going to be completely dialed. Everything on here needs to be ready for that race. I want it ready within the next week. I want the tubs glued on the right wheels. I want the right wheels fitted correctly, because they still are a little bit far back here. I could get a little bit closer into the frame, so it's not a very dialed position, as you can see on the bike there. There's still a wee bit of a gap in here because the zip actually sits a little bit closer, so I've had to push the wheel out. But this head could actually go a little bit further in and be a little bit more aerodynamic. Yeah, other than that, the position's super good. We're getting there slowly. We've still got 4 weeks to get this completely dialed in before we get down there. But yeah, if you have been enjoying the TT content, we're going to keep it going. I have got a filmer coming with me to come to Hokitika and film me and Glenn's experience at the TT and the road race, which is going to be really cool. I thought after all the effort we put into these TT videos, it would be kind of cruelty not to show you guys how the actual event went, because then you get like the before, getting the TT bike ready, all the training involved, getting down there, warm up, the actual event, and then how we went in the event as well. And then you get the road race as well on the Sunday, which will be really cool. So yeah, Tristan will be coming with us for that. So if you do want to keep up to date and you did enjoy this video, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.